today I'm doing a tincture. So what you'll need is vodka or any other alcohol that is 40% or more. And you can also use apple cider vinegar if you'd like. I just use vodka because it's cheaper, and I usually put it in my tea so the alcohol evaporates anyways. And then you'll need some herbs. You can use a lot of different kinds of herbs for different tinctures, but today we will be using lavender, lemon balm, and lemon catnip. And these are all for my hanging baskets. And also you will need jars. You'll need to sterilize them. And I've washed my hands very thoroughly and sterilized everything here. But you also need to sterilize the lids. You can use any kind of a jar, but you'll fill it about up to here. So 1/3 of the way with the herbs. You can put a little bit more in if you want, but I find 1/3 is the best ratio for the most part. And this will help with, if you can't go to bed or you're restless at night, you can get one of those little eyedropper things, drop some of that into your tea, and it will help you go to bed easier. You can also just use it if you're stressed out. It's a great stress remedy. And what you'll see is I am taking off the leaves from the stems and putting them in the mortar and pestle. And then once I've got them in there, I'm just going to bruise them up a little bit just to release the essential oils and all of the extracts from the leaves before I put them into the jars. And it does take about 2 weeks or more for it to get fully incorporated into the vodka. And you'll want to be shaking it about once or twice a day for the 2 weeks. And 2 weeks is the best number, but you can do past that point if you want it to be more potent. And once you've ground it up just a little bit, you don't want it to be like a pulp, but just kind of a little squished so you can release all of the components. Then you'll just put it in there. And I'm using everything, including the flowers and some of the stem, but I don't want to use too much of the stem because that doesn't have all of the good parts of the plant. So I'm going to do about one of the stalks of the lemon balm, one of the stalks of the catnip, and one of the stalks of the lavender. And the lavender I might use the stems because they seem to have more use with the lavender than with the lemon balm or with the catnip. And once again, you don't want to crush them into a pulp. You just want to kind of press them until you can smell. So you can tell that it's starting to smell, and it smells very good. So you can just keep putting them in there until it's about 1/3 full, which for these small bottles, it's going to be exactly that. It's going to be the 1/3 just from each of these plants. So it's going to be the lemon balm, the lavender, and the lemon catnip. So I'm just going to push this in, and this will be the last part. I'm actually just going to leave this one in there, like that. And then we'll put in the last of the lavender leaves. And I'm giving this one to my friend. And then I'm keeping the other one. But I'll probably be making a lot of these throughout the rest of the year. Since I have so much growing right now, I don't really know what to do with it all. So there you see, it's about 1/3 full, a little bit more, but it's very airy. You could probably add more if you want to. Yeah, I think I will add a little bit more of the lemon balm. Just so that when it's compact in there, it'll just help release that into the vodka. And like I said, you can heat it up with your tea, so that way it just gets the nutrients, but you don't get any alcohol, like if you are against drinking and whatnot. So it just evaporates all the alcohol before you even drink it, so it doesn't even affect you. And then you'll want to pour the vodka in almost up to the top. And I want to make sure there aren't any air bubbles. So, and this seems like it's a little bit too empty still. So I'm going to add a little bit more of each. But yeah, it's typically about 1/3, but it's usually when you press down that you want it to be 1/3. So I'm just going to fill it up with a little bit more of the lemon catnip and maybe another thing of the lavender. There we go. Okay, then you just fill it up to the top and make sure you get out all the air bubbles. You can get a knife or something if you need to get out the rest of the air bubbles. And fill it up almost all the way to the top. Okay, and then you just put your lid on once you get all the air bubbles out. I don't think I have any air bubbles in here, but we'll just shake it a little bit gently just to make sure. There. See, and it looks pretty good when you're done. So then you just keep it in a cool, dark place. Some people say you can put it on a windowsill. I'm not sure which one's better. 2 weeks is up, you put a label on here so you know when you did it. And then once the 2 weeks is up, you can start to use it. Just put it in your tea, or you can put it like a little bit on your tongue or under your tongue. But I just like it in my tea because it's easier to drink. And that's the basics of it. You just have to use the herbs you want. Make sure you read up on it first. These I've used before, so I know they work for me. But I love this blend, so I will definitely be giving this to my friend and making one for myself. So this is what it looks like when I finished it, and I make the label with just paper. I write the ingredients and the date, and then I just burn the edges. You can use labels, but I just use paper and I use a glue stick, and then I put it on the bottle because it's not that hard to get a glue stick off later, so you can reuse the jar. But I think it looks pretty good. I don't know how well you can see that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and once again, this is Once Upon a Witch, and blessed be.